Hello, viewers. Welcome to Football Discussion Daily. I'm your host, CGO. Please endeavor to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and other social media platforms. Thank you very much. On the show, we'll be doing a preview of round of 32 games, and they'll be played on Friday, July 3, 2026, at the ongoing FIFA World Cup. And the fixtures are Australia. They will be confronting the Pharaohs of Egypt at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The game will be played at the AT&T Stadium at Arlington, Texas. And then the second game for the day is going to be a game between the Argentina team being led by Lionel Messi. They'll be locking arms with Cape Verde. Their goalkeeper, Vozinha. This is a game you'll be looking forward to. That game we played at the Miami Stadium, and the kickoff time is 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the last game for the day is going to be the clash between Colombia against the Black Stars of Ghana. The game will be played at the Kansas City Stadium, and the kickoff time is 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Very important fixtures for the game between Australia and Egypt. Both sides, they've played in two friendly matches before. They have never met in a competitive game. They've never played at the World Cup before. They only played two friendlies, June 19, 1987, in the Korea Cup friendly. They drew 0-0, but Australia later won via penalty. And then November 17 of 2010, in an international friendly, Egypt defeated the Australians by 3-0 at Cairo. So that is the head-to-head for both teams. Going into this game, the team being tutored by Tony Popovich, they will most likely play a compact 3-4-2-1. And I'm sure Tony Popovich is going to set up the Australian team to absorb pressure. They are going to play a low block system in this game, and they will most likely deploy a back three to help to deny space in the central channels and launch quick transitions when they play against the Egypt team. And then the Egyptian team will be playing a tactical formation of 4-2-3-1. Remember, they are being managed by Osama San, three-time AFCON winner. He has been the one managing this team, and they are going to focus on high-tempo wing play. That has always been their strength. They want to stretch the opponent by overloading the wide areas and allowing their star playmakers to cut inside and find crosses into the dangerous area. That is the way the Egyptians have been approaching their games at this competition. And we must not forget that Egypt are still unbeaten at this competition. They, I think, against when they played their first game against Belgium, they played a 1-1 draw, and then their second game, they won their second game, and then their third game, I think, against Iran, also ended in a draw. So that is the way the Egyptians performed at the group stage of the competition. I think the team they defeated was New Zealand. They defeated New Zealand 3-1, played a draw against the Iranian team. So it was 1 win, 2 draws for the Australians. I remember their first game, they defeated Turkey 2-0. They played low block in that encounter. The Turkish had lots of shots, but they couldn't beat the goalkeeper of the Australians, Patrick Beach, who has been very good in this competition. And in their second game against the United States, the Australians lost 2-0. And then their last game, which was against Paraguay, it ended goalless. So the Australians finished second in Group D, while the Egyptians also finished second. But the Egyptians had 5 points, Australia had 4 points. It's going to be an interesting game. The Australians will be backing on Irakunda to help them make all the difference. He's going to be leading the line in this encounter. And then for the Egyptians, they'll be banking on Zico, Salah, Trezeguet, Mamouche to help them get the team to the round of 16. Definitely, it's going to be a very interesting game. It can go either way because there's no clear superiority when you look at both sides. So it's going to be a very close one. It can go either way. The Egyptians only have a slight edge over the Australians. So this is a game that can be won by either of the two teams. That's what I feel will happen at the end of the day. And in the game between Argentina and Cape Verde, definitely Argentina is overwhelmingly favored to win this game. The Argentines are still unbeaten. They won all their 3 games in the Group J games. They won. They defeated the Algerians, defeated Austria. The game against Algeria ended 3-0. Against Austria, they defeated Austria 2-0. And then in their last game, their last group game against Jordan, they won 3-1. And we all know that Lionel Messi, the star player of the Argentine, has 6 goals so far. So what it means is that he has, out of the 8 goals Argentines have scored so far in this competition, Messi has 6 of those goals, and he is in contention for the Golden Boot for the World Cup. So the Cape Verde team are also unbeaten. Though there are 3 games all ended in a draw. They played a goalless draw against tournament favorites Spain. So it was a goalless draw they played, and then they played in their second game against Uruguay. They played a 2-2 draw, and then in their third game against Saudi Arabia, it ended goalless. So they are still unbeaten as so far this competition is concerned. The Argentines, the way they are going to set up their team, they are going to come out to attack. They are going to set up in a highly fluid 4-4-2 tactical formation. And Lionel Messi will be the one to drive this team. And they will be banking on the relentless pressing of Lautaro Martinez and Julian Alvarez are going into this encounter. Then their midfield engine is going to be Enzo Fernandez, Alexi McAllister. They'll also be banking on Rodrigo Paul going into this game so that they can dominate when it comes to possession and quickly unlock the deep defensive block that will be set up by the Cape Verde team. Cape Verde team, when it comes to being particularly disciplined defensively, their coach, Bista, has really done very well. Always set up a highly organized, combative 4-5-1 system to help the Blue Sharks to play comfortably without the ball. So they allow you to have the ball. They've set up the team in a way that without the ball, they are not threatened. So they always try to eliminate space between the lines and isolate the opposition playmakers. That's the way the Cape Verde team have always approached their game. They will be banking on players like Kevin Pina to help this team. And then we must not forget the player that will be helping them when it comes to launching quick counterattacks. Their lone striker, Dylon Livramento, is going to be one player the Cape Verde team will be looking forward to help them get something positive in this encounter. And then the goalkeeper of Cape Verde, he has been very impressive. We know he made 7 saves, masterclass saves against the Spanish team, and they were able to frustrate the Spanish team when they played. So Fosinha was very, very instrumental to the team getting that goalless draw against the Spanish team. The question is, will he be able to replicate the same team against a star-studded Argentine team that has Lionel Messi in the team? We'll wait to see how he will perform in this particular encounter. But we all know that going into this game, Argentina they are favorites to win. So the projected lineup for this game for Argentina, they are going to play a 4-4-2. In goal, we should have Emiliano Martinez, and then their back four should be Molina, Romero, Martinez, and then Medina. Those are going to be the people that will play the back four. And then in the midfield, we should have Rodrigo, De Paul, Enzo Fernandez, McAllister, Almada. And then the people that will be leading the lines, leading the attack. We're going to have Lautaro Martinez, or we might have Alvarez, but it could be any of them. And then Lionel Messi. That's the way the Argentine will set up their team going into this particular encounter. And then for the Cape Verde team, they are going to play the low block system of 4-5-1, a low block system that is very compact. And in goal, we should have Vozinha in goal. And then their back four, we should have Morera, Chico, Dinay, Cabral, and then we should have players like Mendes, Duarte, Pina, Montero, Semedo. So those are going to play the midfield, and then their lone striker is going to be Livramento. He will be the one to lead the line. So he will be the one to lead the counter-attacking whenever they are able to break away from the Argentines. Why? Whenever they dispossess the ball from the Argentines, because the Argentines will definitely play eye line in this game. So that's what will most likely happen. But based on pedigree, the Argentines are favorite to win this particular encounter. But for the Cape Verde team, since they've started playing this competition, they've always surprised everyone. Nobody expected them to go past the group stage of the FIFA World Cup, but they surprised everyone. So they are still unbeaten. The question is, will they be able to also spring that same surprise against the Argentine team? We'll wait to see what happens in that game. In the game between Colombia and Ghana, yes, for the Ghanaian team, the Ghanaian team has been that team that has been very pragmatic the way they approached the games they've played at this tournament. In their first game against Panama, the Panama team had more possession of the ball. The Panama team dominated the ball. The Ghanaians were able to absorb those pressure, and at the end of the day, they were able to get a late winner in that match. And when they played against the English side, they played their low block system as was very, very compact. They were able to frustrate the English by making sure they don't have spaces to penetrate. They were able to frustrate the English side, and at the end of the day, they were able to get a goalless draw in that game. And one thing with them is that they are ready to relinquish possession to the opponent, and then they absorb pressure and then eat you on a counter attack. In fact, when they did that against the English, they almost succeeded in scoring the English side, but somehow it ended goalless. So going into this game, that is the same approach they will use coming into this game. So they will likely play deep, low to mid defensive block. That's what the Ghanaians will like to use going into this encounter. And then for the Colombians, well, if you look at the three games they played during the group stage, you see that they are very aggressive when it comes to pressing, and then they move the ball very fast. They are rapid transition from the back, and then they have very good players who are very good from the wings. The likes of Luis Diaz operating from the wings do a very fantastic job, and they always like to have more possession of the ball. And then they also try to create an isolated 1-versus-1 on the flanks. So that exposes the opponent's defense. So that's the way the Colombians normally approach their game. I know against the team, against when they play their game against DRC Congo played so deep. They lost concentration in the second half of the game. the Colombians were able to score. If the Ghanaians can maintain their composure, maintain their concentration in this game, it can really make things very difficult for the Colombians going into this match. That's one thing that will help them when they play against the Colombians. If they're able to frustrate the Colombians, maintain their composure, maintain their concentration, they can hit the Colombians on a counter attack to get something very positive. The Colombians will be banking on their world-class left winger, Luis Diaz, to dismantle the Ghanaian structural defense. We all know what Luis Diaz can do when it comes to 1 versus 1. He's a very, very dangerous player, very quick, he has pace, very skillful, and he has a good eyes when it comes to goal. That's one player that the Colombians will be leaning on heavily going into this match. And then they will also be relying on the great vision of James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez in this competition has been able to dictate play from the midfield, and then very good when it comes to utilizing pocket or spaces to break down the opponent and create scoring opportunity for the strikers of the attackers of the Colombian team. So this game, the Colombians will have more possession, but at the end of the day, it depends on the level of concentration, depends on how the Ghanaians are able to maintain their composure. That's one of the things that will determine what will be the outcome of this game. The Ghanaians are being tutored by Carlos Queiroz. They will be, I'm sure, he's going to set up his team in a way to instruct players like Antoine Semenyo to lead the counter-attacking of the Ghanaians. Players like Kamadin and Sulemana are going to be involved in this game. Jordan Ayew is going to play. I'm not sure if Fatau will be starting the game. Most likely might come from the bench. These are the players they'll be looking forward to. Thomas Partey should be in the midfield to stop James Rodriguez from using pocket of spaces. So he has to deny James Rodriguez of that opportunity. He has to also be very helpful in the defense to make sure the Ghanaian defense is not exposed going into this game. So the Colombians are favourite to win this game, but one can never write off the Ghanaians because they might frustrate the Colombians, and maybe through counter-attack they might get a goal, and that might be it. But we wait to see what happens in this game. If you have your prediction to make, please kindly drop it in the comment section. Help to share the video so that others can get to watch. Thank you very much for watching, and do have a wonderful time. Bye for now.